Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2018 Honorary Advisory Committee Co-Chair, Barbara Pearce.
Good evening. I'm the co-chair of the Honorary Advisory Committee, Barbara Pearce, and a former officer and director of the Women's Hall of Fame. Thank you so much for being here. The honoree portion of this ceremony has always been one of the most popular parts of the evening, and tonight will be no exception. For 25 years, the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame has been highlighting the changing roles of women in our society and recognizing those who are at the top of their fields. Tonight, we gather to celebrate women who've devoted their lives to the arts. We thank them for having made our communities even better and for enriching all of our lives. It was a privilege to chair this committee with Ruby Melton and to work with our distinguished, yes, you can clap for Ruby. We all clap for Ruby. And to work with our committee members to select this year's distinguished group of honorees. I want to thank the dedicated committee who worked so hard to nominate and research these wonderful women and to whittle it down to just the few you're seeing tonight. It wasn't easy. And now it's our distinct pleasure to present the 2018 Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame Women Center Stage honorees. We know you'll want to applaud them all, but in the interest of time, we ask that you hold your full applause until they're all introduced. We know that's hard, and we think we have this down. We can practice what we're going to do. We're going to offer each woman one loud clap as she comes onto the stage and hold our full applause for the end. So let's practice. On the count of three, I'd like everyone to clap once. 1, 2, 3, clap. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, clap. That's great. Okay, now let's meet our 2018 honorees. Grace Feldman. One clap. A violinist and violist who's performed extensively with New York Pro Musica Viol Consort, New York Trio da Camera, and the New England Consort, and taught violin, viola da gamba, recorder, and ensembles at the Neighborhood Music School in New Haven for over 50 years. Grace Feldman. A former principal dancer with the Martha Graham Dance Company and currently a master instructor at the Martha Graham School of Contemporary Dance, a dance educator, dancer, artistic director, and choreographer, Peggy Lyman Hayes. Good job. An Ecuadorian-born violinist, educator, social entrepreneur, and artist ambassador for Spread Music Now, founder and executive director of In Tempo, Angelica Durrell. A playwright, director, and recognized theater educator, she is the recipient of numerous grants and awards for her writing and education work, including the National Endowment of the Arts New Works Award. Co-founder of Heartbeat Ensemble, Julia B. Rosenblatt. Award-winning artistic program director and first recipient of the Culture Max Lifetime Achievement Award for her work. Executive and artistic director and founder of Litchfield Performing Arts, Litchfield Jazz Festival, and Litchfield Jazz Camp, Vida West Muir. Award-winning playwright, cultural activist, master Haitian dancer and choreographer, a Vaudin jazzatry performance poet and human rights lawyer, executive director of Zili Dlo, Ezokli Danto. A 2006 Baryshnikov Fellow, first American aspirant to Andrei Droznina, lyricist, librettist, and former company member of the award-winning Stanislavski Theater Studio and Cinetech. Artistic director of the National Theater Institute, Rachel Jett. Former dancer with the Ruth Page Ballet Company and dance major at the Juilliard School, founder and executive director of Eastern Connecticut Ballet, Lisa Reardon, and trailblazing ballet soloist for the New York City Ballet, who danced under the direction of George Balanchine, artistic director of Eastern Connecticut Ballet, Gloria Gavrin. A premier jazz artist, composer, and music producer, former national director of jazz promotions, former director at Columbia Records, Arista, GRP, and Elektra Asylum Records, owner at Sherry Winston, jazz flautist Sherry Winston. Violinist, educator, founder, and former executive director of Music Haven, currently on faculty at Neighborhood Music School, and director of Music, Arts, and Citizenship at Brass City Charter School, Tina Hadare. Please give all of our 2018 Women's Center Stage honorees a big round of applause. A key part of the Hall's mission is to inspire women and girls to take informed action and advocate on their own behalf. It isn't often that we have the opportunity to hear from such a distinguished group of experts, and so we've asked each one of our honorees to share a brief response to this question. Culture and the arts play an important role in telling women's stories and advocating for women's rights. How do the performing arts, or your medium specifically, contribute to putting women's voices center stage?
Neighborhood Music School, where I work, was established in 1911 by two women who sought to bring music instruction to the immigrant populations of New Haven. This heritage of women's leadership and commitment has carried us forth into this new century. Today, women are sharing a place at the forefront of the energy and direction of the school, leading departments, building programs, being strongly involved in decision-making. I think that this trend is reflected across the country. More women are gaining commanding roles as fine artists, conductors, and leaders in the arts. They are coming forth, speaking out, and standing tall.
Although my mentor, the choreographic genius Martha Graham, never considered herself a women's rights activist, her dance heroines were born out of Martha's need to explore the complexities of the female psyche. Through her dance company's international popularity, the dynamic stories of heroines as diverse as Medea, Joan of Arc, and the Appalachian Spring Bride continue to inspire audiences around the world. Her women are sometimes powerful, sometimes vulnerable, but always center stage.
Good evening. Buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Good evening. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here representing women in the arts, especially bringing representation to Latino women of color. And from Tania León, from Ana Magdalena Bach, to Aretha Franklin, to Beyonce, women have used music to give voice and shape to their experience, to not only raise issues that are of significance to our society, but to reflect the values in common culture. And with the music of these women and others as their cultural legacy, and with music education as their foundation, today's girls and young women like myself are well positioned to use their art form to raise awareness of issues of importance to our society and to inspire the kind of social change that we wish to see. Thank you. Gracias.
What we are seeing play out now on the national stage is the result of women's voices being ridiculed, belittled, and silenced. Whereas mainstream history has been predominantly recorded by white men, theater has the power to change that narrative and envision a future in which women are believed.
Good evening. I have the honor of serving as the Artistic Director of the National Theater Institute at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center in Waterford, Connecticut. Come visit. It's beautiful and rigorous. I think having women in leadership roles in the theater guarantees that women's voices are heard in all of their complexity, and that their opinions and perspectives are a part of the conversation on the stage and in education. I know I have long gathered strength from other female artists and teachers who have faced similar struggles. For too long, the female point of view on even the most iconic female parts of classic plays have been interpreted through a mostly male lens, muting the character's independence, intelligence, sexuality et al. To fit into what society thinks a woman should be or can do. As an educator and an artist, I find my insights on classics and contemporary work is useful and necessary to all students. There is still so much work to do. Please vote.
Most people quote Mark Twain at times like this, but this is a new age. We have Trevor Noah, who's saving my sanity, by the way. Here's what he said in an interview I caught on YouTube that really hit home for me. As people, we work hard at the thing we are not good at. That's energy lost. I have always worked in a space where I enjoy what I'm doing. I work hard at what I'm good at and what I love doing. That way, he continued, most days don't feel like work. Most challenges don't feel like obstacles. Most successes feel like a reward for doing what I was meant to do. I could not agree more. I am honored to have helped better the lives of thousands of youngsters for 4 decades through Litchfield Jazz Camp and Litchfield Jazz Festival. I will never take this for granted. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sherry Winston, and I'm a professional jazz flutist. I'd like to say how thrilled I am to be here this evening, and a special thank you to the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame. As a female band leader, I handle all of my booking, travel, and contract negotiation for my band and myself. This squarely puts my voice as a woman center stage in every aspect of my business. I'd like to thank all of my friends at Table 33 for being my rock, my support team. I love you all. Thank you.
Honneur. 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 Cécile Fatima. Grande Guitonne, Tantoya, Défilé, Lieutenant, Sanit Belair, Marie-Claire, where's Marie-Jeanne? These are the warrior women of the Haitian Revolution who changed the world. They are at the center of my performing arts and justice work. When women and girls are introduced to the hidden stories of these real-life Amazon Black women, we unlock their imagination, show them the unlimited potential of all women.
I would like to share with you a testimony from the mother of an Eastern Connecticut Ballet graduate. In her words, my daughter, Emily Steele from the New York Times, won the Pulitzer Prize this April for her work to promote social justice. I have ECB to thank for this award, as they were integral in helping Emily form the basic values one needs to stand up, speak up, show up, and perform in all areas of life when opportunity calls. Thank Thank you very much.
And as my mentor, George Balanchine, said, ballet is woman.
As a classically trained violinist, I believe that our power as artists is our ability to imagine the world not as it is now or has been, but as what it can be. When I look into the eyes of my own 2 daughters and all the girls that I teach, I envision a world in which they are valued for their empathy, their creativity, the resilience they cultivate through the arts. A world in which their voices are augmented because their stories create a more connected and nuanced reality. And a world in which their truth is championed because it contains the raw material of self-determination and hope. I believe in our power to reimagine society going forward and plan to keep fighting for justice and equity to realize this possibility for all of our daughters.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ruby and I, along with our terrific committee, would like you to join us in one final round of applause for this amazing group of women.